Why do people think everyone drinks when they don't? This is called the bandwagon fallacy. Justify their own behavior by saying everyone's doing the same thing. Right? I've heard so many people saying this, well, I don't stop drinking alcohol because everyone around me is drinking alcohol, or, my whole country drinks alcohol. Drinking culture sees drinking as normal and abnormal, right? There's two different types of normality in this. There's normal, that's for everyone who's drinking alcohol and not causing problems. And then there's abnormal for those who are drinking abnormal levels of alcohol or creating abnormal outcomes. So you'll notice that when you go into a bar, you'll see people acting abnormally. When you don't drink anymore and you look at somebody who's drinking, they're the ones that are acting abnormally, but they like to think that drinking is a normal part of society. That's how we all get hooked into it, and that's how we stay hooked into it for many years, many decades in some times. I mean, even the abnormal levels of alcohol that people are consuming, that is deliberately blurred. Now, everyone that we know might drink. It doesn't mean that everybody drinks. I know far more people who never touched the stuff since I stopped drinking alcohol. There was a few people that used to go into the bar. There was one guy whose wife was working at the bar, so he'd come in every so often, and he hadn't touched a drop in a long time. He was Eastern European. Then there was a guy who, again, his wife drank, so he would come out with his wife. He would also have his brothers with him, so they would all drink, but he would never touch a drop. And he always looked bored to me, But I've met so many more people since I stopped drinking alcohol. In my line of business, we coach a lot of people that eventually become non-drinkers. And a lot of those I stay in contact with, so I suppose it's part of the job as well. Now, just because something is popular, it doesn't mean it's a good choice or it's a healthy choice. It's good advice to see what the crowd is doing sometimes and do the opposite, especially when it's something like putting a toxin into your body. It's also a massive deflecting their personal responsibility. I'm saying drinking is everywhere, alcohol is everywhere. So then I can take the blame and I can shift it away from myself and put it onto society or the culture or my friends or whatever it is. It says that I can't control myself, or I can't look at the value or reevaluate my habit because there are all these external pressures that are stopping me from doing that. And this completely absolves me in my head from all the accountability to that. So just think about this, right? I know so many people who don't drink. There are approximately in the UK and in Ireland, about 20% of the population that just have never touched a drop of alcohol in their lives. There are a certain amount of people that don't drink. Most of the people that I knew who were drinkers because I was friends with them because they were drinkers, because I was hanging around in bars, because, you grow up around these people and their friends become your friends and so on and so forth. So it's kind of a circle that feeds on itself. But once you stop drinking alcohol, it can be a hard thing. I'm not denying that. It can be a hard thing to reassess your friends, especially, and those people around you. My family is still around me. I mean, thankfully I have a big family, so they're my big support network, and they don't really drink heavily. It's your responsibility to look at this and to say to yourself, look, this is on me. If I want to change, I have to divest myself of all external blame and take responsibility completely onto myself, take commitment completely onto myself. It's these tiny things, like blaming something outside, like saying that all these other people are drinking. They're the things that chip away at your accountability, at your commitment to this. And it's in those small parts of your commitment that you're not fully committed. That's where you leave the door open to going back to your old life. All right, take care. Speak to you in the next video. Onwards and upwards.